does it mean to be a woman in this day and age? What's it going to take to create a world that is safe to be a woman? I mean, it is 2022. That is the whole purpose of this channel, Conversations with Goddess. It is about the divine feminine energy rising on the planet. It's about the feminine coming up into her rightful place in harmonic balance with the masculine energy. Many parts of the world, that just ain't the case. There are times, even in the good old US today, that is actually also not the case. In the US, we still have not passed the ERA. What century is this? There's a whole battleground over women's reproductive rights. Okay, I'm not going there right now. I grew up in a first world country. I had an education, and I am, call it what it is, privileged. I'm a privileged woman. I am grateful for it. And as a result of that, I felt called to create a show to really empower the women on the planet. And I specifically want to laser beam my focus on the women in the third world countries who do not have the same privileges we do, as an empowered feminine presence on this channel. I feel like it is my duty to speak up on behalf of my sisters, especially in the parts of the world where they have no voice, they have no rights. And that's what this show is all about. Women's rights are human rights. 30% of all women in a relationship have experienced physical and/or sexual violence committed against them by their partner. There are still many places in the world today where women are abused, oppressed, treated as property, chattel, or second-class citizens at best, with no rights at all. In many third world countries, it is still not safe to be a girl or a woman. To be born a girl in this world is still a curse in many places on the planet. We are still hearing stories about barbaric honor crimes and honor killings that happen all over the world. This is still going on, and it is unacceptable. And it is time for this to stop. So I ask you, what is it going to take to create a world where it is safe to be a woman? And how do we build a world where every woman has a safe space? Well, my guest today has one woman's solution to this issue, and she's actually stepped up to make a difference through the power of sisterhood. She saw a need and has made a commitment to start where she lives in the country of Belize. I am Heaven Hope. This is Conversations with Goddess. Please welcome my guest today, Yesha Lester, a representative of the women of Belize that she serves. And this is her story. Welcome, Yesha.
Thank you.
You have an organization called Sister Sanctuary. How did you create that?
So I created Sister Sanctuary because one day I was just out talking to some of the Belizeans that I met in town. And I seen that there was a level of depression, pain, anxiety. There was a lot of domestic violence. And immediately I just wanted to help. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I should do, how to do it, but I just went into action. I decided to create an organization called Sister Sanctuary to bring women together in the community to share their stories. We as women, we believe that we're going through this by ourselves, and that's not always the case. So I wanted to show women that there's people out there that are having the same problems that you are, and that you're not alone.
Awesome. So tell me, is Sister Sanctuary something that you actually have funded with your own money?
Absolutely.
So what inspired you to take on this mission to empower women? It's very aligned with mine, obviously.
Beautiful question. Honestly, I just did it. I didn't have much inspiration. In fact, there was a lot of factors saying that I shouldn't do it. Where would I get the money from? How will I organize a group of people? And I'm not even originally from this country. There were a lot of odds against me, but I decided to just follow my heart. I just went for it, figuring it out as I go.
What steps did you take to make this happen?
Initially, I was from the States. I was a software engineer, actually, and
Yeah, I want to get into that. You actually come from Silicon Valley, I understand.
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Okay, we'll talk about that after you finish.
Not a problem. I originated come from the States, and there was a moment in my life and in my career where I just didn't feel fulfilled. I felt that I should be out helping, contributing to building up the community. And I couldn't figure out where this urge was coming from. So I decided to just kind of up and leave and retreat to work on me, honestly. So that's how I ended up in Belize.
Tell us, where were you born? I think you told me you came from Detroit.
Actually born in Detroit, Michigan. Yes.
Tell me, what was it like growing up in Detroit, Michigan? And did that have anything to do with the person that you are today and your calling to do this kind of women's empowerment work?
Yeah, so my upbringing was, it was unique. I would say it was a low economic situation. I guess poverty is the word for it. So I experienced it firsthand, honestly. And I've seen some of the people become products of their environment. And I didn't want that for me. I didn't want that for my family. And I wanted to make a difference to help people who couldn't see a way out.
Wow. What is your vision for Sister Sanctuary?
I would love to expand. I want to tackle Caribbean countries, South and Central America, any place where there are minorities that are having these issues, that are dealing with poverty. And honestly, I want to focus on the people that are often forgotten about.
And how have the women of Belize responded to this organization you created?
I received great feedback, honestly. They said they wanted something. Yeah. They said they wanted something like that within their community, and they felt so safe to share. And being around women that had the same problems that they had, they're like, whoa. They said it's been life-changing, and they're super excited for events that we have to come.
Did you mention that you are teaching the women how to code?
Oh, yes. So that's a separate project.
I love it. I have no idea how to code. You're actually teaching the women of Belize how to code and thus create a livelihood for themselves, right?
Yes. I would like to know that's a little outside of Sister Sanctuary's domain. We're partnered with an organization called Wajenzi, which is Swahili for the builders. And the goal is to build up the community. So I'm working on other projects outside of Sister Sanctuary to build up the community the best we can, and teaching them how to program is one of those efforts that I am doing as well.
I love what you're doing. I remember when I met you and you started telling me about your project, I just started to cry, really. I mean, it touched me so deeply. And I said, I have to interview you, this woman. I mean, we have to put Sister Sanctuary on Conversations with Goddess, because this is the kind of project and the kind of work that the Goddess wants us to do on the planet. So Goddess bless you for doing it. Okay, so my next question is, tell us about what has been already created with Sister Sanctuary, and where are you at with things right now?
We have workshops that teaches women how to set boundaries, enforce those boundaries. We talk about depression, anxiety, domestic violence, abuse. We even had a financial literacy workshop to teach you how to save your money, how to budget.
Yes. So important. That's something I really want to emphasize. Over and over again, I have attempted to teach female friends of mine, women that I know. I'm always trying to empower the women. Take control of your financial destiny, become financially literate. We have not been empowered to take the helm of our financial destiny. We've been programmed to rely mostly on men. And that is not a winning formula.
The men here are the providers, and that's why there's so much domestic violence, because the women have to rely on the men.
I think it is so great that you are empowering the women to take care of themselves. You're teaching them something like coding, which is a future livelihood where they can take care of themselves. You're empowering women to make money.
Knowledge is power. And we just have to start by building ourselves up. The reason a lot of us women are in these situations is because we believe that we are not worthy. We believe we're not strong enough. It all starts internally. So once we start working inward and fixing those issues, we have the opportunity to Be brilliant.
Working with the women in that area as well, where you're working with empowering their self-esteem, building up their self-worth. And how
Yeah.
are you doing that?
Absolutely, yes. So we have workshops to where we talk about self-love, self-care, how to manage stress, what is it like to be a mother, all of those things. We cover a broad range of topics, tear down those walls and start fresh and rebuild ourselves from the inside. Yeah.
How is the community in Belize responding to Sister Sanctuary and the work that you're doing? Is it welcomed by everyone, not just the women that you're helping?
Yes, it seems pretty welcome to me, or at least I hope so. I've received nothing but good feedback from the community so far, so I'm excited to continue these efforts.
Cool. So back to where you were born in Detroit. I'm so fascinated by that. So tell us about your childhood in Detroit.
This is always an interesting topic for me. It's still a little touchy. So bear with me. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Let's see where to start. So
there's a lot of trauma, you were saying?
Yes, I experienced a lot of trauma as a woman growing up.
I mean, you did grow up in Detroit. That's not exactly a picnic, right? And I'm sure it's contributed to you being the woman that you are today. I remember reading in your bio that you had a passion for learning and you educated yourself. And as a result, you eventually ended up in Silicon Valley, which is really impressive.
As a young child, I knew that knowledge is the way out of my situation, out of poverty. So I spent countless hours focusing on my education. Even when I was in, I think it was elementary school, people would ask me, what do you look forward to? What do you want to learn? I'm like, I can't wait to go to college because I'm going to do something. I want to start my own business. So I just kind of focused on that dream, and that dream got me to Silicon Valley. So it worked out.
What was your childhood dream?
My childhood dream was to start a business. I didn't know what business per se, but I wanted to change the world. I didn't know what that looked like. I just had this energy inside of me knowing that that's what I wanted. And I was just going towards it blindly.
Beautiful. Thank Goddess for young women like you who want to change the world. We need more young women who want to change the world rather than just take selfies and be on Instagram and things like that. You know what I mean? So to continue, how did you end up in Silicon Valley? I'm really fascinated.
Yeah, so I went to school for computer engineering. So as I was studying engineering, I went to conferences with friends and stuff. And then I realized that I started making connections with large corporations and companies.
What was it like as a woman in Silicon Valley?
Being a woman in Silicon Valley was interesting, to say the least. The best word I can come up with. I was obviously in a male-dominated industry. It was a challenge being heard in the room. A lot of the times I would state my ideas and I was overspoken by a man. And it took me a while to actually start standing up and saying, that's not okay. I was getting my point across. Yeah, but it was a journey. I had an imposter syndrome like crazy. So it all worked out though. The longer I was in the industry, the more I was comfortable with being okay being there. I'm a woman, I deserve to be here. I started standing up for myself.
Yeah, good for you. I mean, Silicon Valley is a very competitive arena to begin with. Even if it's just a man, it's dog eat dog, right? And
absolutely.
It's cutthroat. It can be cutthroat, at least in the corporate arena. So for a young woman of color to be in that arena, I mean, I was just blown away when you told me that you had a Silicon Valley background. But then eventually you left that and you moved to Belize.
It was actually towards the end of the pandemic. I experienced a lot of depression. A lot of my family members were sick and ill, and I also wasn't fulfilled with the work I was doing at the time. There was a lot of healing I needed to do. So I decided to walk away from my job and just travel. I needed to just get away completely. And I found myself here in Belize. And I began to heal. And in my healing, I was healing others. I was just sharing my story, and I realized that that was taking effect. Women in the community were like, hey, actually, I go through that too. And then we started expressing those things. And that's another reason why Sister Sanctuary was born. I realized that my voice had meaning, and sharing my vulnerability and my story and my healing was helping others heal in the process.
I saw on your website something called My Brother's Keeper.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. My Brother's Keeper is actually the male version of Sister Sanctuary. So, society has always told us, oh, it's the women. We have to focus on the women. Women, you have to change. Women this, women that. We said, you know what? It's time we take a stand and help the men. A lot of the times, the men are being programmed just like we are. They were told that they had to be a provider. They were told that they had to do this.
Boys can't cry, and
Boys can't cry. Exactly. So
no
we want
feelings allowed, right?
right. Exactly. We wanted to change that narrative and let them know that they can cry, they can express their feelings and emotions, and then they can create their own community as well. So My Brother's Keeper is focusing on that aspect as well within this community.
My dear sister, I want to thank you so much for taking the time today to share with us your beautiful vision. I am very inspired by it. Is there anything you'd like to add to what you would like to share with the world about Sister Sanctuary? For instance, you have a future vision for it, expanding, perhaps internationally, right? We talked about that.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to expand internationally. As of right now, our limitations is resources and connections, but the more help that we receive, the more that we're able to expand and help people globally.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So now's your opportunity to ask the world for help for
Yes,
Sister Sanctuary. How can
please.
people help Sister Sanctuary?
Yes. You can help Sister Sanctuary by donating. We have a website called sistersanctuary.org. And we also have a Facebook page where you can find us called Sister Sanctuary, or you can find our @handle at our Sister Sanctuary. There you can contact me directly, and we can coordinate from there. We're also looking for partnerships as well. It doesn't have to be monetary. We're looking to partner with women organizations that are already doing some of this work. For example, we have a human trafficking event coming up. So we're looking for people that are experts with human trafficking to partner up with them to start putting out some programs and creating awareness around this topic. So there's a multitude of ways, and we're open to any help that you guys are open to giving. Just contact us. Yeah.
Beautiful. I'll be contacting you because I happen to have an organization called Sanctuary of the Beloved Sophia, which is something the goddess inspired me to create. And it is a self-supported spiritual ministry for world education and service, especially targeting women and children. So we will be discussing how we can support each other in the future of these two visionary endeavors. Okay. So thank you, my dear. Thank you so much for coming on. We finally did this show. I'm so delighted to create a platform for someone like yourself who is so selfless in choosing to make a difference in your community. And I hope that the Belizeans really appreciate you, as you say they do.
Thank you.
Society actually gets better for everyone when women's rights are upheld and taken seriously. So I invite you all to join me in using your consciousness and imagining a gender equal world. And together we can forge women's equality. So I just want to close with one of my favorite quotes. When I was ordained as a priestess, and yes, women can be ordained as priestesses. And on the day that I was ordained, I had to do a blessing, and I shared this particular quote from the Baha'i faith, which I love. And here it is. The world of humanity is possessed of two wings, the male and the female. So long as these two wings are not equivalent in strength and in balance, I added that, the bird will not fly. Think about that. It's really time that we created that balance, because it's time for this planet and all its citizens, all my brothers and sisters, to come into harmonic balance. And it is time for that bird to soar. Think about that. It is now time for all of us to unite as one and to soar. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you got value and inspiration out of the show. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I leave you with this blessing song from the goddess. This blessed day, you are loved even more than you can know. And with each passing day of life, we watch you as you grow to be more full of wisdom, kindness, and divine. Oh, dear soul, you're a masterpiece, a miracle design. So may the goddess bless us and keep us all aglow. And we wish you loving kindness, and may all blessings flow.